the issue that the movie deals with. Mental health is such an important thing, and something that I think people are hesitant to talk about.
I feel like it's the elephant in the room a lot of the time, and it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be this taboo thing.
For me in my life and my family's life, it's played a huge role.
I think we all experience mental health. I think we all don't have the capacity or the know-how to notice it.
I think I was still the same person that I was talking about, that just wants people, like, they have such a great life. I don't know what they're so upset about.
I think because it is unspoken so many times, a huge problem, and maybe even more so now during this pandemic when people are so socially isolated.
Even you, Mom. Like, everybody wants help and needs help from others sometimes.
For me, watching Lisa, gosh.
The fact that so much of the film really is just being a fly on the wall as an audience member and watching this conversation unfold. It's unlike almost any film I've ever seen, but depending on who you are as a viewer, you might not have been in a position like that where you see a dysfunctional conversation happen like that. You're not maybe part of that often. And I think it's important for people to be opened to that world.
Some people have not experienced what mental health looks like.
Mental illness has felt like a bit of a mystery to me. The closest relation I had to a mental illness would have been through media. And oftentimes they were portrayed different than a true sickness.
Sometimes things have a tendency to be commodified or sensationalized, especially when it comes to mental health in video and film and art.
I think a lot of times in media, when you see people depicted who struggle with mental health, it is total end of the spectrum. And when I think about mental health now, this past year especially for me, I suffered very severely from postpartum depression and anxiety as I was working on this film. So what a time. And I just remember, I just kept asking myself, like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? I have everything I want. I have the perfect life. I have a beautiful daughter. And I feel like I'm running from myself.
We have the ability to wear our masks, and not our COVID masks, but the masks that we choose to show people.
I was trying so hard to get people to understand what it was like, and it feels like imagine yourself in the most comfortable place you've ever been, like cozy in your bed, your safe place, your comfort zone. And what anxiety feels like is that you are the most threatened you've ever been in your comfort zone. It creeps into any comfort zone you've ever known, and it doesn't exist anymore. And there's no escape. And it's a ride that you're on, and you don't know when it's gonna end. And you just can't get off. And it's really scary. And a lot of us walk around every day feeling like we have to put on a face because that's the right thing to do. And you have to be a wife, you have to be a friend, a mother, a daughter, a worker. And sometimes it's okay. A lot of times it's okay to just take a breath and tell people you're struggling. There's nothing wrong with that. Because that's what helps you get out of it. And I think this film helped me to understand that I'm not alone.
I think anybody who watches Mother's Day has an opportunity to see what it looks like for somebody who's struggling with it personally. But you also get to see the person who's walking with the person who's struggling with it.
Mom, I love you, okay? I do so much. I mean, that's what this is. Someone who doesn't love you will let you walk into harm's way, okay? Pat on the back, and I am not the same.
And I just immediately started crying really hard. It took me right back there.
I would never have felt any sort of judgment towards someone who got cancer. I would feel nothing but sympathy towards them. But I can't say that before I really learned a lot about mental illness.
I think we spend most of our time just saying, why is somebody doing that? Why don't they just stop? Like, why are you so sad? Don't be depressed. Like, there's other people who have it so much worse than you. Well, it doesn't work that way.
But this film gives them the opportunity to see what it's like.
Hey, look at this. This is an experience that people have.
It's an honest conversation and an honest just feeling of these two people that so happen. It's about mental health.
And if it can open the doors to people like me who haven't had that in their life, to talk to other people who say, hey, this is a real thing. I've gone through that, and there's tons of people out there that have had very similar interactions.
It's easy for us to watch something, and I think that's why it was very important to bring this story to life as well, so that people who are struggling with this and think they're the only one, and this never happens to somebody, it's true and it's real, and people can't just snap out of it, you know, and how can we help people?
I just want to encourage people to say something, because people are here, they want to help, they want to listen, and it gets better. As they always say, it gets better, so talk about it.
Any different way, if you tell your story in any different way, I think it will, it'll touch somebody different, and I think that expands the conversation of mental health, and yeah, it's very important for me personally as well.
I think that Mother's Day helps to connect that we're all struggling and it's okay.